Hi everyone, it's David Waterson again from CD Surveys. Because I had a lot of wind noise in the part of the video that we did to do a level check and setup, I'm going to redo it. So I'll set up the forward staff on point A, and then we'll do observations. I'll show you how to book them down, how to check for an error, and if there is an error, how we adjust it. Alright. Still, I need dummy assistant. Punch in the old trusty change point. Make sure it's level. Level that way. Level that way. Level that way. Level that way. I'll get a bubble to put on the back of it. Two types of bubbles. You can get one that just clicks on the side and you level it up, or you can get one that sits in the back, and that's what I'm going to use now. And you can see I've used a bog standard screwdriver to put the staff on. So he sits in there. It needs to come to me a bit and forward a bit. And that is as good as you're going to get the bubble. Alright. I've gone approximately 15 metres back, and I'll go 15 metres forward, which then is a 30 metre distance between the two staves, which then should give you something to adjust it by. Shove down your legs nice and firm, because you don't want it to move about. Take off the base plate, because that keeps the surface clean, and if you drop it, because that's what your instrument's going to move about on, so you want it to be as smooth as possible. Get the old level out, the base plate, because that keeps the surface clean. And if you drop it, because that's what your instrument's going to move about on, so you want it to be as smooth as possible. Get the old level out. You see two levels. This is the one that I use most of the time because I'm familiar with it. Always make sure you close your box, because you don't want it to start raining, and then when you put your instrument away, it gets damp, and you don't want dampness in your instruments, because it clouds things up, rusts things and what have you. So to level it up, we have 3-foot screws, and basically it moves the direction of your left hand thumb. So we would do two like that, and I don't know if you can see the bubble. Let me turn it round a bit. Can I turn it round? but it needs to move away. So my left bubble, my left hand thumb goes away from me, move them both together, and there you have it. And if you wanted to do a fine adjustment, you would do it opposite this one, and again, if you imagine the left bubble, the left hand thumb, which way it's going to go. So that's a level setup, and you get quicker and quicker at doing this. So if I use the gun sights, and the gun sights are at the top, you can see them like that, and it lines up the level. A bit of focus. Which is, this one here is the focus, this one's just slow motion left and right. So I've lined it all up. I wonder if you can see it. Let me try and let me take this off. Right. Let me see if you can see the cross. Can you see them? So it should be it's 1.4, I think it's 40. Yeah, 1.440. And if you, I'll look at that again, I'm going to try and move the, set it on that, and then if I move the foot screws up and down, you see it bounce. Alright, so that's what we're trying to get it to do. So we want it to settle, and it's 1440. So if I go to my booking board, put down today's date, so the job number is set up, plus check. Job title is test, and page 101, surveyors David. Instrument type, this is Pentax, and today's date I think is the 23rd October 2023. Right, so we've got start point A. We had 1.440. Yeah, remarks. You just say 2 peg test. Right, and then we're going to sight round, so I'm going to move that now. Move that to the forward point. So we're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12. Move this back. Right. Because I want to record what's going on in here. Kite up there. Lovely. Push that in firmly. Again, another screwdriver. You can get what's known as a crow's foot, which is a domed plate. That you can use. You can get it in your supplies. The trouble is that if your assistant's got a bit of string attached to it, but it's quite often. Right, that bubble, I don't know if you can see, it's in the circle. I mean, I could fiddle about and get a bit better, but it does the job. But the crow's foot, what quite often surveyors will leave them behind, and you spend 10, 15, 20 quid, whatever it is, on a crow's foot. On every job it gets a bit expensive, because when they walk away, wherever they are, in woods or whatever, they don't think about what they're doing, and they got to go back and try and find it. Right, so fiddle around, make sure it's level and it's fine. So sight on this one, then point around, focus. Flick the foot screw. Now again, the foot screw, and this is the front, so this is the one I'm going to, this one here, because it's on line with the instrument. Make sure that it stays in level, which it is, and then I'm reading that as 1.140 again. So I'll write that down. It's to be 1.140. Right, 1.140. I'll try and look at that again. So we've got 1.140. If I flick the crosshairs, they should come down and settle. Alright, so that's 1.140. So now what we do is we're going to move this whole lot and move it just in front of the instrument. Now you can move the instrument, make sure it's clamped on, don't tighten it again, shoulder underneath it, and I've stamped it down that solid. I couldn't get it back up. Some people put the instrument behind the staff to read the next shot. I prefer it in front of it, for the simple reason that you're not moving it, and there's no danger about screwing it into the ground. If it's on an edge of a road or corner of a manhole, you could end up in a slightly different place. You also got to watch that the bottom of the staff isn't domed by being banged down on top of nails and such like. So you've got a curve at the top of the staff, or sorry, underneath it, and when you put it in a nail it's fine, but when you put it on a flat surface it could be a couple of mil different. So I'll need to get a stick or something for this, because sure as eggs are eggs, I won't be able to see what I'm looking at. So I'll use this old bit of jaggy net or whatever it is. You can use anything. If you've got another person, he could use it. You know, an assistant, they would be able to do it. So if I look through it, focus. Right. It's at the bottom of a red bar. Now I can see a line coming off the side, so I know it's the start of something. So if I put this onto there, I can see it, just the top of it. So there, if I know it's 1.2. So reading the staff is 1.2. It's at the bottom of a red bar. Now I can see a line coming off the side, so I know it's the start of something. So if I put this onto there, you can see it, just the top of it. So there, if I know it's 1.2. So reading the staff is 1.202. 202. 1.202. flick my foot screw, make sure it settles at the same. 1202. So that's back to be 1.202, and I'll show you it with my phone, hopefully. Right, so you can see the bar, and you can see, whoops, you can see the end of my stick, yeah? There's the end of my stick there. Alright, and if I look at it now, you can see quite clear it's sticking at 1.2. The crosshairs are just above the red line. Alright, and again, same thing, flick the foot screw back and forward, and it's reading 1.202. Alright, now that staff goes back to the start. So leave my screwdriver in there, because I might want to check it again. And we'll go down here, put it on here, add up back sights and foresights, and that will tell us what the enclosure is. And again, if you've just bought a level, it's a good idea to do this exercise. If you've hired one, again, good exercise to do. Or if you've got one and you haven't used it for a while, then I would suggest you check it. If you are familiar with the level as I am with this, and you use it a lot, then you obviously don't need to bother checking it as much. But certainly at the start of every project, there's your bubble again, can you see it? Yeah, start of every project I would check the level, do a 2-peg test, and that'll prove whether you're reading it correctly. And it's not a huge adjustment to adjust it, but it's something that you don't want to be doing every day. But once a month if you're using the level a lot, or once a year, once every 6 months or a year, it'll be fine. As a matter of fact, I've not adjusted this level for years and years and years. Make sure the level's good. Yeah, the reason being that the level's quite good and I look after the kit. So we focus down on that one, get the gun sights organised. Again, spin my foot screw. I'm spinning this foot screw because it's on line with my line of sight again. And that now reads 1502. 1502. 1.502. That's my foresight, as if I'm going to move again, and that's back to A. Alright. Okay. So let me put the camera in that and just see if you can see it. So that's the staff. If I flick foot screw, it goes up and down, and it should set at 1502 if you can see the crosshairs in that level. Alright, so if I add them up, it's 2, 4, 6 and 2. This one is 2, 4, 6, 2. It's perfect. Alright. Now in the previous video, because I had 2 staff staves set up, I got the A's and B's and the back sights and foresights wrong. So when I shifted, I mixed them up. And it panicked a little bit with the things going on, trying to get these videos done and screwed up. So it just shows you it's perfect. So this level is fine, as I say. It's not adjustment, but if it needed to be adjusted, I'll show you how to do that. So on the instrument here, if you undo that, it's quite stiff. Gordon Bennett, it is stiff. Oh, there we go. Right. And you can see you got a little adjustment there, adjustment underneath, and adjustment left and adjustment right. So you could adjust your crosshairs this way and you could adjust it that way. If you got an error in your check levels, and let's say in the previous one it was 5mm out, you decide whether it's too high or too low, because the only observation that you can alter is the very last one, because the other ones are long ago. So the 1502, if it was 5mm under, you'd bring that up to 507, and likewise if it was too low, you bring it to 1495. But as I say, it's something you do. So you would, if you want to bring your crosshairs down, you would adjust the bottom one, unscrew it, and tighten the top one. You're only doing it very fine adjustments, and looking through the crosshairs while you do it, and don't touch the instrument. The tripod's got to be firm, it's got to be screwed in fine underneath, and so you're doing an adjustment. Once you do that, make sure the two of them are finger tight, then put your cap back on and then redo the exercise. And the reason you're redoing the exercise is to make sure that the instrument hasn't, you've adjusted it the correct way, it's not going the other way around. Alright, so basically that is a 2-peg test complete. Alright, so thanks for your time, and I'll get on and edit the other videos. Cheers now.